Hi, you remember that just a few years ago, we only had regular free-of-charge TV or cable TV packages. Then, in 1997, Netflix decided to surf the internet waves and its affordable streaming of movies and TV shows changed everything. In 2019, Netflix becomes the sole king of streaming with 87% of viewers in the US and therefore nothing to worry about, right? Well, competition in this market is not that simple. 53% of American viewers also subscribe to Amazon Prime Video, while Hulu, another video streaming service provider, has conquered 42% of this multi-billionaire market. With so many different consumer behaviors and so many competitors, let's take a look at Michael Porter's competitive analysis framework and how it can help us understand what you should do to succeed in extremely competitive environments. As a consumer, you've probably felt a little overwhelmed before with so many different kinds of services and products for you to choose from. Competing with Netflix, we have Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, Disney, Apple, NBC, and other companies following the same business model, offering its own content as well as other studios' movies and series at an affordable price. The consumer, who is often a cable TV subscriber, the consumer is paying to access those online streaming services as this is the only way to watch movies and series from their mobile phones and at any desired place and time. Managers ask themselves, what is the best strategy for a company to grow considering such a complex structure of the TV market nowadays? Michael Porter's Competitive Strategy Classic book identifies 5 competitive forces which are, to some extent, present in all industries. Rivalry among competitors is the first and most non-competitive force. We consider competitors those companies that offer the same products or service as you and takes on a similar market approach. You know most of your competitors or you know or at least should know how they operate. The threat of new entrants is the second competitive force described by Porter. If it's too easy to start operations in your market, or using Porter's terminology, if the entrance barriers are not that high, new companies may challenge you every other day. And this can result in the change of the established market share and hinder the access to resources that existing companies already have in their hands. But you still can outsmart them since new entrants are those competitors that use the same traditional market tools you already have experience with. Things get real messy when we talk about the third competitive force, the threat of substitute products. Substitute products means finding a new way to satisfy your customers' needs. It's by far more complicated for you to deal with substitute products, since you don't master their technologies. In the past, when a new TV channel would premiere on air, previously existing channels knew what to expect and they knew how to react, as there wasn't much innovation a new channel could bring into the game. With cable TV and more recently with streaming services, competitions get a little less predictable. It's hard for a traditional competitors to anticipate market moves of a company who competes in a totally different way. And even if they can anticipate, there is little they can do since they don't have the tools, the resources to operate the same way substitute products operate. When the market is changing this fast, it affects the other 2 competitive forces described by Porter as well. One of them is the bargaining power of buyers. It pressures you to reduce prices or to increase your service levels. And the last competitive force is the bargaining power of suppliers, which threatens to raise prices or reduce the quality of provided goods and services. In the TV industry, buyers have almost no bargaining power. The only thing viewers can do is to cancel their subscriptions. On the other hand, suppliers are major forces that certainly have a voice loud enough to be heard, and that's why we have seen TV content suppliers making surprising moves in this market. Once you've analyzed your market, the next step is choosing a strategy good enough to beat your competitors. Here, Porter lays out 3 different options to be considered. The first is a low-cost strategy, which is when a firm reduces sales and production costs and offers its services at an acceptable quality standard. This may be an effective client retention strategy, which keeps new entrants away, not interested in your low margins. But if you come to the conclusion that there is a sizable number of clients willing to pay more for your products, you should consider the other 2 generic competitive strategies suggested by Porter. The second option is the product differentiation strategy, which is when a company creates a unique product in the industry by working on its design, brand image, or by incrementing new technologies. And finally, the focus strategy, the third strategy proposed by Porter, which targets a specific buyer group. According to his classic book, companies should stick to just one of the 3 generic strategies in order to avoid being stuck in the middle and end up not satisfying any clients at the end of the day. When it comes to determining the profitability of a firm that found itself in a changing scenario, it's necessary to list all the companies within the industry and then evaluate their strategies, considering Porter's framework. After that, to be able to foresee the industry's evolution, it's also necessary to anticipate strategic changes. To do that, firms have to understand the industry dynamics to see if there is a threat of new entrants, innovation, or changes in the customer's demand. Sounds clear and efficient, doesn't it? Well, of course, Porter's book received both praise and criticism. He himself revised and advanced his concepts later on. In any case, both the knowledge and the criticism of Porter's strategies are essential for current and future managers to improve their managerial skills. If you take Porter's theoretical framework as a reference, Netflix is a classic example of a substitute product for traditional open TV as well as for cable networks. It remains loyal to its low-cost sales and production policies while it's always trying to improve its quality. It also seeks for innovative solutions and tries to create its own content to satisfy the needs of niche markets. But can Netflix successfully execute all these strategies at once in the long term? Recently, many movie producers refused to renew their contracts with streaming companies. What might happen to your favorite show or mine? Honestly, it makes me sad just to think about it. This is the case of the NBC series The Office. After it being available for years within the Netflix platform, by 2020 it's available on Amazon Prime and from 2021 only by NBC streaming platform. Taking this scenario into account, it can be said that profits in the entertainment industry may decline, which will require managers to have theoretical knowledge and advanced analytical skills to keep their companies up and running. Managers should look closely at this market trend. What we can observe by using the TV market as an example is the impact of new technologies on traditional competitive models. The current challenge for managers is to drive the digital transformation in their firms and be able to reinvent their strategic options. And of course, those organizations who fail to cope with this double mission may lag behind the others and remain unprofitable in the coming years. It's also important that society as a whole and the government policies follow industry structural transformations. There are concerns that such market transformations can end up forming monopolies, which may lead to reduced competition and loss of incentives for innovation, usually brought up by healthy competition. In the media communication sector, a monopoly would also bring the additional risk of losing the desirable diversity of ideas and perspectives, and we all know that this is something of high importance for democratic societies. All right, Well, thanks a lot for watching this video about Netflix business case and market strategy theory. I hope these examples and concepts can help you develop your own ideas on how to succeed in different markets and how to contribute to the economic and social development of your community. If you are interested in reading the full article I've written about Netflix and Porter's analysis, you can find the link below on the video description, as well as direct links to our social media pages. Once again, thanks for watching. I see you soon here at the America's Business channel. Bye bye.